Hi guys, welcome again to Barker's Barbecue, and this is beef cheek burgers. Alrighty guys, so the first thing we have to do with these beef cheeks is trim them up just to make sure they're all uniform and ready to go on the smoker, because you don't want any of the sort of tags hanging off onto the side, and all the silver skin, like this sort of stuff, you want to get off as well. So we're going to start getting these trimmed up. So you're going to see those little tags and whatnot. Just try and get rid of as much of that stuff as you can, just to try and make sure there's no sort of thin bits off to the side. So these little silver skin patches, just try and get your knife under them and just try to keep as much meat as you can on the cheek as well, because obviously they're pretty small. And it's the best way to get the cheek stuff off. There we go. Cool. So get rid of as much of that sort of silver skin as you can. Just sort of trim it here and there. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be times where there's going to be some left on, but just try and get rid of any sort of straggly bits. There are a couple of flaps on these cheeks on here. Just sort of run your knife just to get rid of those, because they're just going to burn up. And you can grind those up and put them into snags if you want, or burgers maybe, but they're pretty fatty. So just again, slide underneath. Perfect. Just like that. Okay. Okay. Looking good. Just another flap on this one here. Just sort of put your knife in there and just run it through. Yep. So there we go. We've got 4 pretty uniform cheeks there. Just get the silver skin off this last one. Perfect. Cool. Like I said, don't stress too much if there's a bit left on. So these cheeks are full of intramuscular fat and a lot of connective tissue and collagen as well, as you can see. See, if you look in there, you can see all those pockets there. So these can be, these are a really rich piece of beef once they're cooked down and rendered down properly. So I treat them sort of like little mini briskets. You know, they need around about 5 hours, despite how small they are, in the smoker to get rendered down properly. So, but yeah, we'll keep a close eye on these, and we'll see how these travel. So now they're all trimmed up, we're going to rub these in the Ribrax Barbecue Black Cow Rub. It's a coffee-based rub, yeah, it goes great with all your beef and whatnot. So I'm going to go a little bit light on these. I'm not going to go particularly heavy. The last time I did beef cheeks, I actually over-seasoned them, and they turned out a little bit overpowering with the rub side of things. So I'm just going to go a little lighter on these and really try and let the beef shine through. And yeah. Okay. All right. They're looking really nice. Cool. They're all rubbed on all sides now. Great. All right. So we're going to get these on the Weber and get these started. Alrighty guys, so we've got the Weber out here going with a snake method. So that's going to give us a nice sustained even level of heat right throughout the whole cook. These are going to take around about 5 hours, I'm going to say. So we're going to put them on the grates now just to sort of get a bit of smoke on them. I've got some apple wood in the snake at the moment. So basically, yeah, we're just going to position them just over the water pan, just like this. Just when you cook them with the snake method, it's always be mindful not to stick the meat too close to the actual snake itself, because there's going to be a lot of heat around this section here. So just be aware of that. So you don't want them touching. You just want them in their little spaces. And I've put this little one back here just because obviously it's going to take less heat to cook that one. These bigger ones need a bit more heat, so a little bit closer to the fire source there. And yeah, we'll check on these in a couple of hours, and we'll see how they go. Alright guys, so we've been going for about 2.5 hours on these beef cheeks now. The Weber's been running a little bit hot, sort of like 300 to 350 Fahrenheit, so 150 to 165 Celsius. A little hotter than I'd like, but that's cool. That just means they get done a little bit quicker, which is not a bad thing. So we're going to take the lid off and have a look. So As you can see, they've barked up quite nicely. And I'm just going to check the temp on them now. So they're temping at 186, 185. They're still pretty tough. Even this little one back here being at 190 odd is still pretty tough. So we're going to go ahead and take these inside, and we're going to show you what we're going to do next. All right guys, so we've got the beef cheeks off the Weber in this foil tray here. So as you can see, they've barked up quite nicely. They've got a real nice color to them now. And the second part of the beef cheek cook, which is really important, something that differs from a lot of other sort of low and slow cooks, is we're going to actually braise these. Now, I've got a liquid here that's basically what you would normally use as a beef injection, but basically beef injection is just the same as a stock, really, just with a few more additives. So people use, stout beers and all sorts, wine, to braise their beef cheeks in. I'm going to use this injection today, so we're going to pour it in now. So I wouldn't recommend pouring it over the cheeks. I'd recommend just pouring it just beside them and let them come up. You're not going to want to swallow them in the water either. You just want it to come up maybe about ½ an inch or so, just around them. All that good stuff's in the bottom of the stock there, about there, just so that the bulk of it's exposed. And basically what we're going to do now is we're going to take these back outside, stick them on the Weber, and we'll check on them in around about another hour. All right guys, so we're 5.5 hours into this cook, and these beef cheeks are probing just how they should be. So we're going to take a bit of a close look at them now. So as you can see, they've reduced in size quite significantly, and a lot of the braising liquid has evaporated away, and these are probing just as they should. Absolutely beautiful, so tender, and so just like butter is what you want them to be. Just like there's barely any tension there whatsoever in the meat. So we're going to take these inside, and we'll get our burgers ready. All right, guys. So we've got our beef cheeks ready to shred now. So and we've got everything ready to sort of plate up. So these beef cheeks. So we're going to do a pickled onion on the burgers. And we're also going to use a sriracha mayo, a QP sriracha mayo, which is one of my favorite sauces ever. It's so good. So we'll come up on these beef cheeks, and we'll see just how tender they're going to be. So they literally just shred apart, just like that, and so super tender. So you want to pull them apart into little shredded chunks. Try and get some bark on some of them as well. And they're all just. This is how they should be. They've got little pockets of gelatinous fat inside them that if you were to eat them like a steak, which I've seen happen, they can be a little bit off-putting. But if you just shred these up, just like I'm doing here, those little pockets of gelatinous fat actually end up coating the meat, and they just make them absolutely stupendous. So that's just 2 of our cheeks there, basically all shredded up, and you can see how moist they are. Look at that. Delicious. All right, so now we're going to start putting our burgers together. So I've got some Aldi burger buns here that I've been toasting over the top of the coals that we've used in the snake method, sorry. So we're just gonna start putting those on top there, just giving ourselves like a little beef cheek patty. Oh, these smell so good, so good. Still got 2 beef cheeks to go as well, my God. The smell is amazing. Oh, can't wait to tuck into these. All right. Okay. So the second ingredient I'm going to use is some pickled onion that I've been pickling in, literally, these are my favorite pickles that I use, McClure's pickles. So I've literally used the brine from inside the pickles once I've finished with the jar. Just slice some red onion thin and pickle it in the same juice as you pickle the pickles in, and it comes out with these beautiful colors. It really adds a nice zing to your sandwiches, and they're a great addition to a sandwich just for a little bit of zing, because these are so rich and so sort of heavy in a way. So these little couple of strands of pickled onion throughout the throughout the burger is actually a really great way to just sort of add a bite, because there's so much richness in these beef cheeks that they really benefit from a little bit of zing. I mean, pickles would probably be a good thing to use as well, but I love the color that these turn out, and they have a really similar flavor if you use the same brine. And yes, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put our sriracha mayo on, and this is available from Woolies. Delicious mayo with a good bit of kick. And I love the bottle as well. Just applying it is a breeze using this bottle, and it looks just divine. Absolutely delicious. And if you're a sriracha fan, which I am, I'm going to apply a bit to my bun as well. And that's, put them together. And there you have beef cheek burgers. Now I'm going to tuck into these. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching my video about beef cheek burgers. I really hope you got something out of it. As always, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, so follow me at Barker's Barbecue, and let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to cook. All the best.